Welcome to A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional. We're going to look in the book of Exodus, chapter 33, and discuss for a little while the importance of the presence of God in your life. Moses wanted God's presence in his life. You know, the Bible says that the children of Israel wanted to know God's acts. They wanted to see his actions, his acts, his works. But it says, but Moses wanted to know his ways. And in Exodus 33, beginning with verse 13, he says, Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way that I may know thee. Moses wanted to know God. And the Bible says in the book of Jeremiah, it says, I will give them a heart to know me. So friend, getting to know God is not just a matter of the head, the intellect. It is. We get to know by reading his word, and we study and we put into our hearts and our minds, but it's also a matter of experience. And how do you get to know God? Not just by the intellect, but by the heart. By spending time with God in his presence is fullness of joy. In his presence, cultivated presence of God in your life, you'll get to know him. So it's spending time with him. The more time you spend with your wife or your husband prior to your marriage, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that's how you get to know them. You don't get to know them just by reading their letters, but you get to know them by spending actual time. The Bible says, I will give them a heart to know me. And Moses wants to know his ways. He says, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way that I may know thee. He wants to know God. Now look at the response of God. He says this, my presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. Well, what Moses said was, show me now thy way that I may know thee. And God says, my presence will go with you. Friend, it's his presence that we need. You get into the presence of God, and I want to tell you something. Nothing else will matter. Nothing else will matter. I've been to the dentist, and whenever they're going to do work on my teeth, they give me Novocaine. And that Novocaine numbs it so that they can drill, and I don't feel it. I hear it, and I can tell what they're doing, but I don't feel the pain. My pastor used to say to me, he says, Jerry, the presence of God is like anesthesia. He said, give me the anesthesia of his presence, and you can cut out of me anything you want. I thought that was good. Friend, his presence is just like that. In fact, if you have that presence of God, then it doesn't matter what else happens. God may ask this of you and that of you. He may want to cut this out of your life and cut that out of your life. But I will tell you this, his presence being rich in your life, then when he cuts it out, you won't feel it. It won't bother you because you'll have something better to take its place. And that is the presence of God. Not just the omnipresence of God. We know he's everywhere all at once, all at the same time. I'm not talking about that presence, although that's included, but the presence I'm referring to is the manifest presence of God. And the Bible says, and Jesus said it, he said, if you love me, keep my commandments. In fact, he went on, he says, he that hath my commandments and keeps them, He's the one that loves me, and I will love him. Now notice this next part. And I will manifest myself to him, to his physical senses, my physical senses. I'll be able to sense that manifest presence of God at that moment. That's what I want. And in that presence is such fullness of joy. It's like anesthesia, and you can cut out of me anything you want, Lord, because when you take that away, you have replaced it with something greater, and that's your presence, and there is my fullness of joy.
Thank you for watching A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional. A Certain Sound is a production of Word of Truth Christian Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. For more information or to listen to the 1-hour internet radio program titled Truth Talk, visit us online at www.wordoftruthbg.org. You can also write to us at Word of Truth Christian Center, 1163 Napoleon Road, Bowling Green, Ohio, 43402, or send an email to wotcc@wordoftruthbg.org. When writing, be sure to ask how to get a complimentary CD of a Sunday morning message preached at Word of Truth Christian Center. For Word of Truth Christian Center and A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional, I'm Sonetta. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.